A mysterious border slowly winds its way through the enormous Indonesian archipelago's lush jungles and glistening waters. It's a line of demarcation that divides entire planets in addition to land and water. Does this line have a name, and how does it act as a border? Is it real or imaginary? How was it discovered? The Wallace Line is an invisible line that has a fascinating story of isolation, evolution, and mystifying organisms that have thrived in pristine isolation. It embarks on an enthralling tale of two unique biogeographic kingdoms, which are poles apart and beg us to discover the mysteries they conceal beyond this border. The Wallace Line is a fictitious boundary that divides the Western Australian and Asian biogeographical areas of the Indonesian archipelago. It delineates the boundary between the worlds with different fauna. What is presently referred to as the Western Australian region is to the west of the line. The proximity to Australia has a significant impact on this area, and as a result, the animal species found here are very similar to those found in Australia. The biodiversity of this area is home to several distinctive and well-known species, including the marsupials, kangaroos, wallabies, koalas, and wombats. These animals are recognized for their unusual reproductive strategies in which the young grow in pouches. There are unique egg-laying creatures called monotremes that live in Western Australia. The platypus and echidna are its most well-known representatives. Emus and several cockatoo types are typical bird species seen in this region. Reptiles like monitor lizards, goannas, and other unusual lizard species are included in the reptilian variety. East of the boundary is the Asian territory. The fauna connected with Southeast Asia is more diverse on the Wallace Line's eastern side, which is frequently referred to as the Asian region. Numerous primate species, including orangutans, gibbons, macaques, and leaf monkeys, are abundant in this area. The deep forests of this area are home to Asian elephants, tigers, leopards, rhinoceroses, and many deer species. A staggering variety of bird species, including vivid parrots, hornbills, pheasants, and countless songbird species are found in Southeast Asia. The diversity of reptiles is influenced by crocodiles, different species of turtles, snakes, including cobras and pythons, and snakes in general. The Wallace Line's divide is closely related to the region's geological past, particularly the movement of tectonic plates and the creation of the Wallace Trench. A land bridge once united Australia and Southeast Asia during the Miocene epoch, some 15 million years ago. This land bridge allowed for the free movement and interbreeding of species, facilitating the flow of flora and fauna between the two regions. However, the area witnessed considerable geological changes as a result of tectonic plate movement. The Sunda Shelf, an undersea continent encompassing modern Southeast Asia, was elevated as a result of the Australian and Eurasian plates conversions. Large expanses of land that were once underwater rose as a result of this uplift. The land bridge connecting Australia and Southeast Asia was gradually dissolving while the Australian plate moved northward at the same period. The Wallace Trench, or Lydekkers Line, a deep-sea trench, was created as the land submerged. This trench, which parallels the Wallace Line today, developed into a sizable physical barrier that restricted the passage of numerous animal species between the two areas. Did you know that the specific location of the Wallace Line is not fixed, but varies in various regions? It's a shifting zone of transition that covers the Indonesian archipelago rather than being a straight line. Alfred Russel Wallace, a famous British naturalist who traveled intrepidly over the Indonesian archipelago in the 19th century, is credited with discovering the Wallace Line. Wallace finally solved one of the greatest biogeographical mysteries of his day, thanks to his intense curiosity and persistent research of the area's various ecosystems. Wallace, who was driven by an insatiable desire for information, worked diligently to study his data and consider the causes of this startling gap. He came to the conclusion that the obvious geographic divide between the animal species he saw must be the cause. He presented the Wallace Line to the world in his seminal work on the zoological geography of the Malay archipelago, which was published in 1859. Careful research and comparison of the species distributions led to the development of Wallace's eponymous line. It brought to light the significant impact of isolation and geography on the evolution and dispersion of living forms. His discovery served as the cornerstone for contemporary biogeography and the study of how geographic boundaries affect the natural world. Generations of scientists and explorers have been inspired by Alfred Russel Wallace's breakthrough voyage and his subsequent discovery of the Wallace Line, which highlights the importance of observation, curiosity, and persistence in learning more about our planet's mysteries. So were you aware of the Wallace Line? Do you know of such any other nature's miracle? If yes, do let us know in the comments below.